Week 8, Season 24 kicks off tonight from the Seven Fires Temple in the City of Sin, Las Vegas, Nevada, as the Sin City Samurai play host to the Los Angeles Lycans. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Daggs, and alongside me in the booth is Gerald Smith. Our stats crew tonight, Jacob Clear and the legendary Ron Haynes, along with our commissioner and producer, Cameron Irvine. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Gerald, it's a great night for football. How are you doing?
Doing good. We have a couple of teams here that seem to be headed in completely different directions in the standings as of late. So we're going to see if, one could falter up the other, right? LA is the one that's going, in a downward trajectory, and Sin City, right? Seeming like they found some of their old type of ways and just kind of have that upward trajectory within the standings. So we'll see how we'll check out.
Yeah, when you start off losing your first couple games, people start to wonder, like, how is this team going to do? But, 3 of their last 4, as you mentioned in the show, and, doing fantastic right now for Los Angeles. Nothing ever can quite seem to go their way. We'll see if it can go their way tonight as they get the ball teed up, ready to kick off. How's this one going to work out? As Matt Wilson would say, there's only one way to find out. That's on the field. Get down to the field and get this one started. Sin City starts off on offense first. Kick return taken back near the goal line. Good return up the middle. Gets all the way up to the 33-yard line. And that is where Sin City will start with the ball. Shake Carroll getting that return all the way up to the 33. Scar Patterson is the quarterback, and a couple of great running backs on this team, Gerald. Robert Johnson and Logan Lee, even fullback Bill Cherry. We're sure to see a bunch from all 3 of them tonight.
Yeah, I do think that that has been the key to their success on offense for a while now. Even dating back the last few seasons when they were branded as a Kent Classic. So I do think they offer that power run style. And they get that going, it puts teams on their heels.
Split backs in the backfield, and they'll start off with a power run, getting that one to Bill Cherry, the third back that we mentioned. In the passing game, they've got Israel Adams, Al Dillapre Sr., Bob Lung, and Shea Carroll at the wide receiver spot. And, of course, Talon Steele, # throw it to the tight end at that tight end spot. Jackson Burrito, Carrot Cool, and Adam Chance on the offensive line. Another run, this one up the middle. They'll spot him with a first down. That's actually Smith with the carry. Terrell Smith, to be exact. He's Bill Cherry's backup.
Great name.
It's really kind of a basic name.
Great name.
First and 10. They gave him the first down, and no second look at it. First and 10 from the 43. Short drop by Patterson. He'll throw for the first time tonight. That one is incomplete. Tried to get that out to Talon Steele. Second down.
Yeah, Talon Steele's got to actually pull that in. You can't, it was actually a pretty good throw, right? Especially considering some of the struggles that, Scar Patterson has been known to have in his passing game right there. But that was a perfectly placed ball, and he just dropped it.
2 receivers up top, 1 to the bottom. Single back in the backfield, and Patterson will throw again. Takes about a 12-step drop and then heaves it 30 yards downfield. And that one is complete. Gets that out to Bob Long, who catches the ball at the Los Angeles 30-yard line, moves the chains.
Now, Bob Long, right? He was known like last season for coming up pretty big kind of in the playoffs, right? And coming out of nowhere, but finds it a hole in the zone after the protection with the offensive line. Gave Scarpati, throws down the field. He's like, hey, you think I have trouble throwing the ball? Watch this.
Yeah, Bob Long had a fairly quiet season last season, and then was it the quarterfinal or semifinal? He played against Florida, and just Bob Long all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Patterson just heading back to the bench, decides to finally throw the ball, gets it 6 yards over the middle. I guess that's one way to stay clean in the pocket if you just casually stroll to the sideline.
I have no idea. I don't know if he was trying to get some direction from the sideline on who to throw to, because it kept sort of inching that way, and then he finally says, throw it to that guy right there, and it happened.
High formation on 2nd down and 6. We'll see another run after several Scar Patterson throws, and that one finally getting Logan Lee involved as he gets his first carry of the ball game. Good for another first down on this Los Angeles defense. The defensive line, Alex Perez, Ace Blackwell, Selwyn Lane, and Nick Brummer, along with Bear Winters. At the linebacker position, Tazzy Blackwell, Greg Ward, and Brogan Spira. The secondary, Devontae Moore, Mike Scott, Eaton Moss, Rochelle Colston, Monty Wyatt, and of course, Ben Charbs. The defense finally gets home as Brogan Spiro gets the sack.
Spiro come around the edge right there, kind of looking like untouched. They just forgot all about him, didn't even realize he was coming, and blindside sack right there. Good thing it wasn't a fumble.
Talon Steele letting us know that they have been feeding Scar Patterson Wheaties all week. And it's interesting, like he didn't say he's been eating Wheaties all week. They've been feeding him Wheaties.
He was just sitting there and he was shoving a spoon in his mouth?
Yeah, I mean, it almost sounds like a hostage type situation. So now I'm concerned. Patterson throws over the middle towards the end zone. That one's incomplete. 3rd and 15 coming up. Tried to get that to Talon Steele. The Wheaties didn't pay off.
Was it like a situation where you're like forcing your kids to eat their vegetables?
You will eat these.
You will eat Wheaties. We need you better.
He's like bringing a chocolate chip cookie towards his face. He opens his mouth and there's
shove something else entirely in his face.
3rd and 15. We're going to have to check on him and make sure he's okay. Blink twice. Patterson, he's going to throws it short of the line to gain. It's caught, but will bring up a 4th down as Shea Carroll gets the catch. 4th and 9, and we will see Charles Franz on to kick a field goal try. This one from 31 yards out from the right hash.
Yeah, I was expecting to see, as they got closer, right, to bust out a little bit more of that run game and actually try and get it in that way, but they decided to stick with the pass. I mean, it amounted to them just the drive stalling and settling for 3.
Franz, a perfect 13 of 13 now on the season. After a good-looking drive, Gerald just happened to stall out there at the end. And the Los Angeles defense, they bent, they didn't break. Brogan Spiro getting the sack, and that kind of ended the drive right there. As forced that 2nd and 15, then a 3rd and 15, only got half of what they needed, had to settle for 3.
But I think at Canton at that point, I mean, look, I know the odds to say, hey, yeah, it's a passing down at that point, 2nd and 15, but I do think you put yourself. Oh my
fumble,
God!
Picked up by Sin City. We were talking about this in the pregame show, Gerald. Everything that can go wrong for LA does. They fumble their first kick return of the game, and Sin City is already in scoring range again.
So this is their 7th fumble as a team this season, right? Their running backs account for 6, and now here on the kickoff, they fumble again and give it right back to the opponent.
Yeah.
You can't win games that way.
So 2nd drive now for the Samurai. Starts from the Los Angeles 27-yard line. Ben Charbs in the area, able to force that one to be incomplete. So hard to win games when you constantly turn that ball over. 2nd down and 10. Split backs again in the backfield. Split spread. Patterson sends Al Dillapre Sr. in motion into the slot at the top. He'll roll out down to the bottom, throws back across the middle, gets that one complete, and gets the 1st down. Israel Adams, the Houston transplant, comes over here to Sin City, gets a nice catch there, moves the chains for the Samurai.
Yeah, and while I'm not a fan of them throwing it this much, but they haven't thrown themselves into a bad situation yet, right? So I can't be too mad at it, right? Just the running backs that they have,
yeah,
especially this defense that LA is showing, I just think it's just inviting them to run a lot more on it. 7
passes and now 4 runs on the day for Sin City, as that one goes down to Logan Lee. He'll pick up 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 from the 9.
See, and this is where, this is definitely 100% a running down right here.
Yeah. We'll see what they do. They will stick down to the ground. Can the LA defense hold? No, they allow a 1st down and goal as Bill Cherry gets the ball again and just plows his way through 1st and goal from about the 3.
Yeah, Bill Cherry put a hell of a stiff arm on Monty Wyatt as he tried to, try to plug that gap right there. He just stiff armed him back about 3 yards.
High formation on 1st and goal. Patterson hands it off. End zone touchdown, Samurai.
And just like that, after a turnover, right, it's a very big momentum shifting type play, right? You're looking to get the ball on offense in LA, and you fumble the kickoff, and you allow your opponents to just get you and get themselves an easy, in my opinion, 7 points when your defense actually stood up and got them in a situation to only surrender 3, and your special team units let you down.
Extra point is up and good. Sin City 10, Los Angeles nothing. Sully Richardson has yet to step on the field. That always makes it extra difficult, Gerald. You're already down 2 scores. Your offense hasn't even seen the light of day here this evening in Las Vegas.
And you're already put under a lot of pressure, right? You're down 2 scores before your offense even steps on the field. I mean, it changes up. I would think it changes up the entire start of the game.
Elsie Pryor brings that one up to the 27-yard line, holds on to it this time, and now we will see the Lycan offense for the first time tonight. Sully Richardson went 15-35 last week in their close loss to Baltimore. 226 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks on the day. Darius Iniguez, the running back, he had 13 rushing attempts, Gerald, only 30 yards. Even Patrick Rudling, the other running back, 6 rushing attempts for 11 yards, both of them averaging only 2 yards per carry. That has to change if they're going to win.
Oh, yeah. I mean, have to change a lot.
Pressure on its way, but pass is able to get out, and Chris Lee able to haul that one in. Sully Richardson, again, at quarterback. Darius Iniguez and Patrick Rudling, along with Sawyer Stern at halfback. Dan Curtis is the fullback. Bubba Tree, Elsie Pryor, and Chris Lee are the wide receivers. Adam Grabowski and Jack Flash at tight end. Oren Wilds, Bob Watoska, Hunter Watoska, and Altreus Wilds on the offensive line. That run goes for the average from last week, 2 yards.
Yeah, look, and they got to do a lot better, right? Iniguez is 4th in the league in rushing, right, with over 500 yards so far on the season, and I mean, but he's also 2nd in carries, so they feed him a lot.
Speaking of feeding, Talon Steele doubling down on the force feeding. I'm not sure that's okay. Oh, pressure on his way again, and it is picked off, and he might go. Oh, one man to beat, and he got tackled by Sully Richardson, just narrowly avoiding a pick 6. Bo Martin Jr. gets the pick, and Sin City back in possession.
And that was a scared throw right there by Sully Richardson. This is, ever since LA has touched the ball, it has amounted into 2 turnovers. And, the Vegas squad here actually has it in very, very good field position for the 2nd drive in a row. And they're already, this is looking like it's going to be a very, very long game if they can't pick up the blitz coming off the edge like that.
8 interceptions on the season for thrown by Sully Richardson, as that one goes back to Bill Cherry for a 4-yard pickup for Bo Martin Jr., his 3rd pick on the season. 2nd down and 6. There's, I guess, something to be said for force-feeding your team Wheaties. I don't know if it was just Scar Patterson that was being force-fed or the whole team, but 3rd down and 2 is Smith, your favorite man in the running back room, gets another carry.
He's getting more love than Robert Johnson.
He's getting work. Yeah, Robert
Johnson has 0 touches.
No touches, but
if it keeps going like this, he might not need to.
Terrell Smith with 2. This one goes down to the ground. A little spinneroo for a 1st down. And that's back to Logan Lee. Fresh set of downs, and 3 minutes to go in the first with the clock rolling, and Sully Richardson has 2 pass attempts. Time of possession is about a minute.
Yeah, and I don't think this 3-3-3-4 type defense that they're running is helping them at all right now.
No, it's very, it worked in that particular case, but it's very difficult to stop the run when you only have 3 down linemen. You're counting on your linebackers to fill those gaps, and it just doesn't work very well, especially against a powerful running team like Sin City. 4 down linemen here this time.
The thing about it is like they're contracted linebackers. They only have 3, right? To run a true 3-4, you need that 4th linebacker to come in there and actually contribute.
Scar over the middle, wide open. Talon Steele, first down and goal from about the 6.
Yeah, Talon Steele just running a seam route right there after going in motion and getting himself staying inside the markers and making his way toward the hashes and just coming through right here and Scar Patterson says, hey, I can throw the best of them. Seems like because the run game is good. They've been doing a lot of their damage through the air.
Lynette Copper in the chat says, and she's quoting Talon Steele here, play well or you'll have to eat more Wheaties. See, it is threatening.
But I think Wheaties, I'll be honest with you, I think Wheaties is one of the better underrated cereals out there.
Are you serious?
I like Wheaties, man.
I mean,
Wheaties and cornflakes.
Yeah, listen, I've got some trees outside. I can go peel some bark off, put it in a bowl, and pour some milk on it, and you can eat that too.
No, man. Like I'm telling you, I think cornflakes and Wheaties is some of the best cereal.
Dropped on your head as a child or something. 3rd down and goal. Bill Cherry can't go anywhere on that one. Tazzy Blackwell, she gets the tackle. Maybe we'll see Terrell Smith. Who knows?
Well, you know what?
There he is.
Maybe
there he is.
Well, maybe
Smith at the bottom of that split backfield.
Well, maybe LA needs to eat more cornflakes and Wheaties.
Might help. Smith gets the carry and gets stuffed. Absolutely stuffed Greg Ward. Crushing him right there at the 1.
I don't need to be up here doing it, but for oddly,
you were cheering. That is not okay.
I was disappointed that Smith did not get a touchdown there.
That's not okay.
It is not okay.
Greg Ward just earned some incentive money for getting that stop inside the 2. Congratulations, Greg Ward. I'm happy for you. Unlike this guy, he sees somebody named Smith and he's like, that must be one of my relatives. I assure you, he's not.
We're kin.
You're not.
We're kin.
Oh my gosh.
Just like the field goal kicker on LA is John Smith. We're kin.
Elsie Pryor. He's just, sure, man. Elsie Pryor brings it up to the 22. All right, let's see if LA can get something going here. If there's any silver lining to be had so far, it's that Sin City has had 3 possessions already, 2 of which have been effectively starting in scoring range. 1 was just outside, but they've only allowed 13 points. They can come back from this. Sully Richardson flings it downfield. That one is incomplete. Tried to get it out to Chris Lee. 13 points is not insurmountable. There's 3 full quarters to go.
Yeah, look, and they're going to have to turn around, and their defense is going to have to step up, because if they don't, right? If they don't, they can be looking at the same thing, but their offense actually has to help them out. They have to learn how to pick up the blitz and actually get themselves in somewhat of a rhythm, just so they can get some sort of momentum going their way, because right now they have none.
Richardson to throw on 2nd down, rolls out to his right, decides to take off with it. Oh, I was just expecting him to fumble. But he picks up 7 and sets up a 3rd down and 3.
See, and that's not nice, right? You're just expecting them to do something terrible only because they turned over the ball the last 2 drives doesn't mean they're going to do it again. These are professionals.
I bet you eat grape nuts too, don't you?
Oh. Dude,
there's a guy that eats grape nuts. Bo Martin Jr. He gets a pick on the last drive and a drive-ending sack on this one.
Bo Martin was in there so fast that he disguised it so well. It looked like he was possibly going to cover the tight end, that he was going out for a pass, but he ran right in, and poor blitz pickup by Darius Iniguez, because guess what? It amounted in a sack.
13-0. Sin City out in front. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Dags DroneWorks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com as we see the faux New York City skyline in Las Vegas. Look, the Statue of Liberty.
I'm more concerned with the roller coaster on top of a roof of a building. I don't understand what
I didn't ride that. No, I was.
Why would you ride that in that heat? I don't understand.
Dude, it was hot too. And that was not for me.
That would be like a heater in your face at 50 miles an hour. That roller coaster goes that fast.
Oh, played a nice hit there. Monty Wyatt on punt coverage. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. Ron Haynes. Jacob Clear with us on stats in the Stat Winnebago. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios in a nice cushy studio setting, but gives the Stats crew a beat-up Winnebago.
That man's loaded. I don't know why he's so cheap with the Stats truck.
Yeah, he's sitting on a throne made of cash right now, but... Oh, Ben Charbs with the pick. They needed that bad, and Ben Charbs gets it done for him. Overthrown pass by Batterson, and Charbs snags it out of the sky.
Maybe this will, tell them, hey, look, we need to slow it down and actually run the ball. But you know what they got good right up the middle? They had very, very good pressure up the middle by the defense. Bear Winters came in there, and the rookie fighting through it and actually forcing a rush throw by Scar Patterson, calls him to overthrow it. And now LA has their first potential momentum-changing play of the game.
King Enderman in the chat literally just said a perfect quarter. Comes out in the second quarter, throws a pick. See, Los Angeles can capitalize on it. We already know that Sin City has multiple points off turnovers, 10 in fact. And the only way you're going to win if you start allowing points off turnovers is to get points off turnovers on your own. Gar Patterson's going to have to eat some more Wheaties at halftime, I think.
the fans are calling for it. for speed, Scar, more Wheaties.
Patrick Rudling with the carry up the middle. Picks up a gain to 3, 3rd and 6. I hope the Wheaties at least have milk. Richardson to throw, and that one's picked.
Again.
Yeah, Bo Martin Jr. gets to second of the day. That one taken back to midfield, and I always say one good pick deserves another, so there you go.
Yeah, I don't know what Sully saw right there. Seemed like he had pretty.
Bo.
Well, he had pretty good protection. I don't think he was as rushed as maybe he thought he was.
I think Bo was just camouflaged on the center field logo.
Yeah, I guess, but man, this is disappointing right now. This is the 4th turnover already for LA. And we talked about it in the breakdown of this game, right? One of their problem was the ball protection they had. This is the 3rd time that Sin City has gotten the ball at the 50-yard line or better.
Yes.
So, if you think about it, and we talked about it as well, right? The amount of yards that the defense gives up from, at LA is not a whole lot considering, but when you're put in bad situations by your offense all the time, it's just not a recipe for success.
Pitch down to the bottom, hit right at the line of scrimmage and tackled at the line of scrimmage by Ben Charbs. They'll spot him with a 1-yard gain, and I'm a little concerned right now because Jacob Clear down in the Winnebago.
He's a smart man, even though he trashed me in pregame, but that's cool.
Dry wheat Bix with Vegemite does hit a spot. What I said, what even is Vegemite? He says God's gift to earth. Patterson yeets it downfield again, overthrows his target, and it's incomplete. So let's get back to Vegemite. Do you know what it is? Because other than God's gift to earth, I still don't know.
I don't know. I just seen Wheaties.
It doesn't say Wheaties. It says Wheat Bix.
I know, but I just read it as Wheaties. Dry Wheaties does hit.
Do you think Wheat Bix is like some sort of off-brand Australian Wheaties?
Maybe.
It's made of like, I don't know, kangaroo droppings? I don't know what they eat down under. Probably not that. I just offended a quarter of my team because they're from Australia. I apologize.
I would look at it and be like, hey, all right, hey, like I need to know what Vegemite is too. I don't know what that is.
He still won't tell us. Anyway,
is that some sort of explosive vegetable?
It sounds like it. Like light the stem and then it's like a grenade. First down and 10 from the 14. See if Los Angeles can get something going here. It's not going to happen on the ground as Darius Iniguez picks up nothing. So far, 2 carries, 1 yard for him. Sully Richardson, the leading rusher on the team tonight, 2 carries for 7 yards. Iniguez and Rudline combined with 6. 2nd down and 10, and Richardson will throw a quick pass over the middle. That one down to Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Okay, so up until this last completion, Sully had more completions to the opposing team than he had to his own. So that was his 2nd completion of the day, and he's thrown 2 picks. So it's just not looking good.
No, Richardson. Oh, there you go. Rolls out right, finds his man, gets the completion. Chris Lee gets the catch, gets the 1st down. I just Googled Vegemite while you were talking, and it's some sort of black substance in a squeeze bottle with a yellow label. I'm even more concerned now than I was previously.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably something I'm not going to use, but...
No. I hope that's not sold in stores here. It's a spread, we're told. What are Wheat Bix? Iniguez he's hurt on the play, too. He picked up about a yard there, and now he's down. So bad luck goes to worse luck for Los Angeles.
And he has been their best offensive player this season. So it's definitely... demoralizing for them to have their best player go down. I mean, we're not even halfway through the 2nd quarter and he's already out.
Wheat Bix are allegedly superior Wheaties. So I think I might have been wrong about the kangaroo droppings. Vegemite says, think if you could spread soy sauce.
I don't want to spread soy sauce on anything.
What's wrong with that man? Richardson over the middle, and it is bobbled around and incomplete. Pass was intended for Elsie Pryor. He got rocked when he hit or caught that pass, pounded straight out. $4.99 super chat from Israel Adams says Sin City, baby, with a pair of swords. I guess those are samurai swords.
Gotta be samurai swords.
We got a sword on the wall in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, it's
the Master Sword from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it's Link's.
Yeah, Link didn't need it anymore. It's on the wall now. 3rd down and 8.
I think you stole it.
I did. Richardson over the middle, Pryor incomplete. Hit once again as he tried to catch the pass. And Kanye Rockefeller. He went ahead and Rockefeller.
He sure did Rockefeller. Yeah. But guess what? You LZ Pryor's he has to hold that in. He can't drop those. I know he was outreached one hand, but man, you got to make those plays when they are to be made, because they have opportunities, but they have been few, and they've got to get something going, because right now LA looks completely outmatched at this point in the game, and they have zero momentum going their way. I don't even think they've even gotten past midfield yet. It's just not looking good right now. The defense is holding pretty strong, though, given the situations they've been put in. To only surrender 13 points, with having 3 turnovers already, they're doing what they can. They're holding as strong as they can, given the situation.
1st down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Sin City back out on offense. Going right back down to Bill Cherry as he picks up more rushing yards on that one carry than Los Angeles has as a combined team. The team stats in this one just absolutely lopsided in Los Angeles' favor right now.
Yeah, and they're just not, look, and little did we realize, right, that actually, the leading rusher thus far is Bill Cherry doing his thing.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now on this one, but 129 yards to 48. And they're just getting some big chunk yardage. Logan Lee picks up another 6 right there, and that's really the difference. We've seen only 1 rushing attempt from Robert Johnson with a 4-yard gain, but then you've got 6 for 26 from Logan Lee, so he's averaging 4.3 per carry. And then Bill Cherry, 7 rushing attempts for 30 yards. So he's also getting about 4.3 per carry as Robert Johnson gets his 2nd of the night. This time only picks up 3. So there goes his average.
Look, and this is where, these 3rd and shorts, this is how Canton is going to turn this game into, if it keeps going this way, some sort of a power run style, possession, time possession hog type game, but getting themselves in the third and really short, and then just pound it.
First down and 10 in LA territory. Lynette Cowper says that Vegemite is a yeast extract. So now that spread sounds even worse than it did 5 minutes ago. There's things that we've learned tonight, Gerald, that I wish I could unlearn. Bill Cherry showing that fullbacks are runners too. Stiff arming defenders, trucking defenders, getting good yardage.
And he just that's the second time Monte Wyatt's been somewhat murdered by Bill Cherry. I don't know. Stand your ground. Hit him a little bit lower. Don't take him on up high. Hit him in his legs. He might get dropped down.
High formation, 3 receivers set. Patterson to throw, wide open target, but just
threw behind him.
Yeah, mismanaged that throw. Threw it behind him, incomplete.
Yeah, Mr. Forge, right? And the chat says, tune in for football. Learn about Vegemite.
Yeah.
It's an all-encompassing broadcast.
Well, not only that, but we haven't really even dove into this Wheat Bix thing yet.
It's Superior Wheaties. You just said it.
Well, it's one man's opinion, though.
I need to try some Wheat Bix.
Wheat Bix is probably only available in Australia. You know where they probably sell Wheat Bix? At Kmart. Did you know that Kmart is a thriving operation still in Australia?
Why?
Well, I don't. I guess because
the
Australians shop at the Kmart.
The Big K International. Great.
Oh yeah. Nice little pirouette by Scar Patterson as he throws one over to Al Dillapre Sr. for another first down. I mean, ironically, I was telling you this earlier. I was at the Rotterdam Mall in Rotterdam, New York. If any of you have ever been in the Rotterdam, Schenectady, Albany area, and you want to visit, an empty mall, go to the Rotterdam Mall. There is a Big K that still has the signs up. Now, it's closed. It's been closed for a long time, but it's there. Tipped and incomplete. That one almost picked off by Monty Wyatt, intended for Talon Steele. And, I actually found that out a few months ago, that Kmart not only is still in Australia, but thriving. I actually talked to Jacob Clear about it, and I said, hey, I heard a rumor that Kmart is there. And he goes, oh, yeah, there's a massive one not too far from where he lives. And he actually just sent up from the Winnebago. He says half of his appliances are from Kmart. So I didn't even know Kmart sold appliances at all.
I didn't know they sold appliances. I can't remember the last. It's been a gazillion years, it seemed like, since I've seen an operational Kmart. Are they an international, or are they actually based out of some Australia?
Well, I think they are now.
Well, now, but I'm like, was that an American thing or some other country thing, and they just decided to branch out, and they've always been great in Kmart? I have no idea.
Got a blue light special on the dishwasher. Scar Patterson, it's got a blue light special on a interception in the end zone almost. Ben Charbs swatting that one away. 4th down, and they'll have to settle for their 3rd field goal of the night on the leg of Charles Franz.
So if we're looking at this from a pure defense, right, with the offense, of the opponent having to go down the field, right, and do what we would consider a traditional drive, starting to roughly about your own 30 and then driving down. LA has only surrendered 2 field goals on that drive from a defensive perspective. So, and the other 2 were off of short fields, right? They gave up 10 points off of extremely short fields and off of turnovers. So, look, and their offense has to produce, right? I don't think it's a defensive problem here with LA. I think they have an offensive problem, with getting their players to execute like their talent would indicate, because they're an extremely talented group.
Kick out of the back of the end zone. There's a touchback. Frank Doom in the chat wondering if they still have Blockbuster down there. That's a good question, because I wonder if it's just like a parallel universe, or just, like the land down under is like the land lost in time, and they, there's like Radio Shacks everywhere.
Circuit Cities.
Oh yeah, I got my wife at Circuit City.
You bought your wife in Circuit City?
I met her there. I mean, semantics, though, really. Richardson under pressure all night long, gets that one away and gets a completion up top to about the 40-yard line. Yeah, I mean, this LA defense has been doing a good job at this game could be gone right now. It could be 28-0 right now if it wasn't for this defense. In particular, Ben Charbs. Go Aztecs. I'll pull a U right there. He likes to say go Revs for every player that's ever sniffed the bayou.
Oh, they were tenured.
Ben Charbs, former Aztec, 6 tackles, a pick, and a pass deflection now. Nearly had a pick in an end zone. He's doing a good job for this defense. The offense starting to move the ball these last couple passes. That one connected out to Chris Lee.
Sully's slinging it on this drive right here, and doing and Chris Lee and is coming up with some big catches right now. Right, see if they can keep this going right before half.
Got like Walworth's. Is Walworth's an international or like a national brand, or was that just?
No, we had Walworth's.
Oh, okay. Oh, tackled for a big loss on that one. Just absolutely flying off the edge. Gary Clem. Go Reds.
Yep. I have to say, you did it for me.
2-minute warning here in this one. All Sin City so far.
That was a huge tackle for loss. Just when they said, yeah, we got some momentum happening, they just get such a huge tackle for a loss. And now, I mean, look, you got to expect them to send some people here. And they've been getting good pressure on Sully with just the front four as well.
Richardson rolls out left under pressure, throws up top, gets that one complete, but tackled well short of the line to gain. Adam Grabowski gets his first catch of the night, but it's just not enough. And we will see the punter out on the field to punt this one away back to Sin City.
Yeah, and that was looking like probably, their best drive until that huge tackle for loss by Gary Gary Clem coming right off the edge and shutting it down and put them in a situation that LA did not want to be in. And they were staying ahead of the chains up to that point, and it just set it back. It seems like any negative type play just totally just derails them.
Yeah.
And just demoralizes them, and it's like it just messes up their whole flow. I mean, you got to be, a little bit better than that. Be a lot more headstrong than what you've been.
First down and 10 from the 28. I think they got like a Sears Roebuck and Company right next to the Kmart. It's where they used to be at my local mall. Not just Sears, Sears Roebuck.
I don't think we had Sears. I don't think we
had. You never
had
the Sears Roebuck?
Sears Roebuck.
Oh, I'm going back.
I remember back in the day, it was like, everybody would say, yeah, we're going to Sears.
I love me some Sears, man. You could go there, get a new pair of jeans and like a wrench all on the same trip.
And you can take family photos, awkward family photos.
Yep.
Where they do like the shadow of you looking up at yourself in the picture.
Yeah, on your way out, you go buy a washing machine.
Right.
You don't need that blue light special at the Big K. You can get it right there at Sears.
And then you're like, oh, I got to fix the car. Let's just get some of those. There's always like a Craftsman store right next to it.
Yeah. As a reckless youth, I got a radar detector there so that I could, be a reckless youth. The radar detector was great. It would alert me every time I was about to get pulled over. The dumbest thing I ever bought. Oh, look at that pass.
Wow.
Double coverage. Ben Charbs have been breaking them up all night. Could not break that one up. They'll go into the no huddle.
Bob Long, or was that talent still coming up with a huge catch?
3 seconds, they'll hand this one off, and the tackle is made. No points will be taken on this drive. So in a game that has felt like it has been nothing but Sin City, which it has, it's still a 2-touchdown and two-point conversion game. 16-0 midway through this one. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Gerald, Los Angeles with no points on the board. What do they got to do to get this one turned around?
They need to stop turning the ball over, which they seemingly have, but they have to get some rhythm going on. And I think it changes like their offensive game plan. Why? Because they lost their running back, and hopefully we're going to actually get an update on his status. as it goes, as we come out of half. But you know what? They're going to have to, do something a little bit different there. And what they do, they actually have another running back. They got Rud Lang, and they actually have, the number, 3 pick in Rud Lang. They just got to get it all together, right? But they're going to have to crack, through this Sin City defense, who has been doing really, really well against our offense.
Bo Martin Jr., the star so far in this one, 2 picks. Let's take a quick halftime break presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Universe of Australia, Tom Brady, still on the active roster. Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner by visiting our site, brakesgpt.com. The stats from the first half as Los Angeles takes the field back on offense, more than double the total yards, almost triple. Quite frankly, it's going to be a tall hill to climb, especially with Darius Iniguez questionable to return. He has a strained elbow ligament and is officially currently designated as questionable. We'll keep an eye out for number 20, see if he returns sometime later on in the game.
Cut it off and get back out there.
Yeah, you don't need all your ligaments. Just some of them. Patrick Rud Lang, though, he'll pick up 5. His stats on the first half, he had 3 rushing attempts for no yards.
Yeah, but, it seemed like after he went down, they completely abandoned the run, right? You have 2 other running backs on the roster here. You have, Rud Lang, the number 3 overall pick, and you have Sawyer Stern.
That one goes down to Stern. He'll only pick up a yard. And this is a big moment for LA right now. 3rd down and 4. I know it's just the opening drive of the second half, but this can be momentum. You got to keep your drive going. You can't go 3 and out and put the game back onto your defense once again.
And this is a very, very third. Watch Bo Martin off the edge.
Richardson rolls out left, throws, and that one's incomplete. I like the play call, Gerald. Just the execution was not quite there.
Yeah, look, and they rolled out away from a blitzing Bo Martin coming off of the edge and gave themselves a little bit of time, but it just wasn't enough. It just didn't. I think he chose the wrong route there. I think he had to out route a little on that same side of the field that he probably could have hit. Would have been a little bit of a better option, in my opinion.
A punter whose name excites Gerald, it is John Smith. Punts that one away to the Sin City 35, and that is where we'll see the Samurai offense back out onto the field. Scar Patterson in the first half, about 50% completion percentage. No touchdowns. Does have 1 interception on the day. Around 100 yards. The stars of the game so far have been I'll say the running backs, but it's really the fullback. Bill Cherry has about 50 yards on 11 carries. Logan Lee with about 35 yards of his own. This one will start right back off going to Logan Lee as he picks up 8 more. 2nd down and 2. The 2025 SFL convention kicks off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th to the 14th. Join the SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out into Baltimore's Inner Harbor. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net. On that 2nd and 2 run, you have, Robert Johnson he was barely used in the first half. Gerald, he only had a grand total of, I think, 3 rushing attempts. Yeah, he just doubled his yardage and then some with that carry.
Yeah, he just powered right through and almost had a breakaway run right there. But look, just like we expected them to do. Look, they're starting to do things in a run game that are just really, really good. Look at this.
Oh, Logan Lee. I don't know how they only set it a 9-yard pickup there.
No
I thought
idea.
that one was 11, honestly, but was that Lee or was that Bill Cherry again? That was Bill Cherry.
No, it was Lee right there.
Oh, he just had a
Plus
good
his
block.
scrimmage,
Yeah, okay. I was right the first time. Listen, the cameraman tricked me. He panned to Bill.
Who panned to Bill? But
I
mean,
confuse easily. Watch it. I see you thinking. 2nd and 1. I'm still trying to figure out what wheat bix are. Robert Johnson can't get there. 3rd down and 1. Stopped. Right back at the line of scrimmage.
And they're on fringe field goal range right here. And look, and I don't see them not getting this, especially the way, Bill Cherry's been running and Logan Lee. I just don't see them not picking this up, right? And you can see this spread right here, right? They got 3 down linemen right here. I don't get it.
1st down is picked up, and that will keep the drive going. With this 3-headed rushing attack, I mean, it's like going up against a 3-headed dragon, and you've just got 3 knights standing there trying to stop them. You're not going to do it.
No, it's not going to happen. Look, and you can see right here, even in situations like this where they're spreading out the actual defense a little bit, and they're still rushing really, really well because they're getting the blocks that they need. Look, and that's a very good play.
Yeah, Tazzy
right
Blackwell,
there.
nice tackle.
But, I mean, they're going to need that on a consistent basis. I mean, if you can't keep doing that on a consistent basis, I mean, Kansas going to run away with the game. And, look, and they are on the verge of running away with the game right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said at the end of the half, 2-touchdown game, but now they're in scoring range. This is going to become a 3-score game real quick. 3rd down and 1. Even if they don't get anything more here, it's almost certainly going to be another field goal. And Charles Franz hasn't missed yet on the season, a perfect 15 of 15. This defense has a lot of stars on it. Selwyn Lane, Tazzy Blackwell, and Monty Wyatt are all in all-star contention right now, but half of it's because their offense is out here, the defense is on the field so much, as Greg Ward gets a tackle for a loss, that their stats are much higher than everybody else's because they're always playing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the field all the time, I mean, you're going to, stat pad. But it's like, man, the defense is just asked to do too much for the offensive failures. I mean, let's just call it what it is, right? The offense has many failures, right? They have many turnovers. And then when they do not turn it over, they struggle to move the ball at all. I don't even think they've gotten past midfield all game long. And when your defense is the better unit, like night and day better, it's just not good. I mean, you got to be a little bit more balanced. They got to be actually competitive offensively, and I just don't see it tonight.
We'll see what the LA offense can do as they get back out onto the field. I'm just trying to learn a little bit more about Wheat Bix, Gerald. It's a popular whole grain wheat breakfast cereal. It's primarily associated with Australia and New Zealand, but it is also sold in other countries. I have an extensive history of Wheat Bix, the origins and creation we can get into later on. If that was picked off, I would have just kept right on reading about the origin and creation. I mean, it was created back in 1928 by Benison Osborne, who's an Australian businessman. He wanted to develop a healthy, affordable breakfast cereal and founded the grain production company in Sydney, Australia, produced to sell Wheat Bix. And, well, listen, there is so much more that we can get into. But for right now, 2nd down and 10.
Sounds delicious.
Richardson to run, and he is sacked. 3rd down and 11. They just can't get anything going. This
we need to have
Sin City defense too potent.
We need to ship in some Wheat Bix from Australia and just drop them off in LA Stadium, at the front office and say, hey, eat some Wheat Bix. It seems to be working for Scar Patterson.
Well, he's eating Wheaties.
Wheaties. Well, I don't know. We're from what we're told. Oh my goodness!
The offensive line just imploded.
I just feel like it's just overmatched, like tremendously overmatched right here.
The Chad has entered the chat.
it's going downhill now.
I joined this chat wondering what weird things are Gerald and Mike talking about. Cereal. In our defense, we did not start the cereal conversation. We just joined the cereal conversation as John Smith punts this one away back to the 45. It was Talon Steele that started talking about.
It's apparently the key to Sin City's success as of late. It's
Wheaties.
so relevant to football.
Right.
Literally force feeding the team score patterns, specifically Wheaties.
And then, on stats, we have an Australian in Jacob Clear down in the Winnebago, and he said that Wheat Bix, and I already blocked it from my memory, Vegemite.
It's a spread.
It's a soy sauce type spread. That just sounds so wrong.
Okay, so this is a question as we see Scar Patterson complete another good pass right over the middle, to one of his good receivers and Bob Long. Now, when one is eating with Wheat Bix down under, do you eat it with milk and then put the Vegemite on it? But I do think that Jacob Clear himself said dry Wheat Bix with Vegemite on it.
I don't know.
Soy sauce based spread.
It makes me not feel good thinking about that. I don't like it. I don't.
Look, in the book, if you see Mike, he's visibly stressed over I can't comprehend.
I don't like this.
What he's talking about. He's got his finger on his temples, wondering what is this.
Gar Patterson throwing it. I would rather throw into double coverage than eat dry Wheat Bix with Vegemite. I could say I would rather, and I could fill in the blank with many, many things before I would say I would rather eat dry Wheat Bix with Vegemite. He says you don't. Jacob Clear says you don't get it.
Mike obviously does.
You're right. I don't. But this is the same country that has spider season and embraces it. And they've got deer that look like they went to prison. I think they call them kangaroo. Patterson, end zone, picked off. Ben Charbs. He's been the one bright spot here on the defense for LA. He's having an absolutely fantastic night. He's trying to do what Matthew Alvarado did last week and just claim that Defensive Player of the Week title right here in the first game. Very tough to do when your team is losing 19-0, though.
I mean, the strength of this team we know has been the defense because the offense has been completely inept and in every way. Look, and from what Talon Steele says, the Shogun rules with a Wheaties fist full around the temple.
Well, here we are. It's Friday night. LZ Pryor getting the catch for LA, celebrating that one. I hope for LA's sake they can get some points on the board. Ironically, the game is still, even though the commentary is out of hand, the game is still not out of hand. 19-0, I know, but there's still 13 minutes left in regulation. I'm pretty sure I've lost Gerald for the rest of the broadcast. He's just inconsolable right now.
I can't help. The chat is cracking me up. I can't focus.
Pass is complete over the middle to Dan Curtis. Second down and 5. Yeah, Lynette says, I guess it would be like Triscuits. And that's what I was thinking, too, is it would be like Triscuits. But Triscuits with gelatinous soy sauce? I mean, no. Triscuits and cheese, maybe. Throw a pepperoni on that bad boy, and I'm good. But, soy sauce goo? That's Vegemite. No, it's trash. Throw it away. 3rd and 1. Shouldn't exist. Spider season shouldn't exist. Vegemite shouldn't exist. And Wheaties were fine. You didn't need to do Wheat Bix. 4th and 1. They really should just go for it here, Gerald. I don't know if they will.
Now, if they go for this here, this might be the first time. Have they reached midfield yet? No, they still have not crossed midfield, and they're actually going to punt right here. But look, I don't think they've crossed midfield at all yet this season. This game, it felt like this game is so long, it feels like a season. But this game, they have not crossed midfield, and the offense just is so. Before, their running back went out in the Silent Sea. They actually were struggling before that, and it seems like they have just continued that struggle already. Now, I would like to credit the Sin City defense for forcing these things, but I do think that there's something going on within the chemistry of that LA offense that just isn't working right.
Pitch up top to Bill Cherry. Yeah, he's had great blocking and great running all night. He usually is the guy who does the great blocking, but in this case, he uses the offensive line to get it done. Ben Charbs with another tackle, and Wheat Bix remains one of the most iconic breakfast cereals in Australia and New Zealand, continuing its legacy as a staple in many households. All this, and I didn't even know it existed before today.
Oh, wow. Logan Lee almost broke it.
Ron Haynes in the Winnebago letting us know that he's looking back through the data. He doesn't actually see where LA has crossed the 50, and I agree. I don't think they have. I think they got up.
They were
at the 49. This last drive, yeah. In Sin City territory.
No, they weren't. No? They were at their own 49.
Oh, yeah, the first down marker was.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right, Ron. Why would I doubt you? I apologize.
Oh, Jesus.
Wheat Bix and Vegemite for me. That's my punishment. That would be a punishment. That's like, man, you didn't finish your vegetables. Now you got to eat Vegemite. I wonder if it's nutritious at least, like vitamins, minerals.
And they're getting a spot on the ball.
I think that's frustration.
LA has to try and win at something.
They do. Well, let's take a retroactive look at the play. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at goretroid.com. We'll see where Bill Cherry got, and it looks like he did step out short. Well,
no, he didn't.
No, he did. What are we betting? I bet you one Triscuit with Vegemite on it. The loser has to eat it. I think he stepped out. And the ruling on the field is overturned. Ergo, you need to eat a Wheat Bix.
I didn't even say I accepted this.
I saw
I'll eat the Wheat Bix.
Yeah, with the Vegemite.
Not the Vegemite.
I'll go get some soy sauce because we don't have Vegemite here. So I'll take soy sauce and I'll put it in a bowl and I'll mix in just a little bit of water and cornstarch. That'll thicken it right up, and then I'll have a soy sauce spread. It won't be Vegemite, it'll be Vegemite. That's right. We just invented a new product. Vegemite, coming to a store shelf near you where it'll promptly go expired because nobody's going to buy that. It'll have a picture of me on the front, like with a thumbs up, like, hey, you should eat this gelatinous soy sauce. You know what it goes well on? A dry biscuit.
Triscuit and Vegemite. Nice.
Disgusting.
Yes, sounds like it.
Wow, Logan Lee breaking up 2 tackles, using that speed, one man to beat, and tackled at the 20-yard line. In scoring range, Gerald, and the night is practically over for LA just as the third quarter comes to a close.
Right, and you know when your defense misses 2 tackles back-to-back like that, it's a sign of a tired defense. They've been on the field all night long. Their offense hasn't been able to sustain anything, and it puts them in these bad situations. And here we are, as we enter the fourth quarter, and them being down nearly 20 points.
3 quarters in the books. 10 minutes remains here from Las Vegas, Sin City, out in front in this one. So we see some of the update. Yeah, 63 total plays. That's ridiculous.
That just showed that the offense is struggling hugely.
Yeah, I mean, struggling is almost an understatement. I don't want to just be mean to LA, but
dude, they're playing bad.
Yeah, it's just downright awful.
It's
the defense has done everything they can to keep them in the game.
I don't want to just don't want to bash anybody, but I mean, everybody's seeing it. It's terrible. Their offense is terrible. They're playing terrible. They're looking bad. I don't know what they're doing wrong, but there's a whole lot they ain't doing right.
2nd down and 8 from the LA 19-yard line, and if Sin City scores here, I think it's almost time to just call it a ball game. 3rd down and 6 coming up. You are watching the Simulation Football League action right here on the Virtual Football Network. This week it's SFL tonight through Sunday. The UFL is back Monday and Tuesday. SFLM action returns on Thursday, and SFL Week 9 kicks off next Friday with Gerald and I. It's going to be at 7:45 for the show to start right here on an exciting week on the Virtual Football Network. Scar Patterson doing a little spin and getting back to the line of scrimmage. A little 30-minute delay to start next week, Gerald. That's how we're going to do it.
Yeah,
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Good. We're all going to be fashionably late.
That's what's up.
Going to make sure I get my Wheat Bix in.
It's not the Wheat Bix. I know why you're going to be late. It's because you need extra time to comb your hair.
Those
Why would I go there?
I have to properly set the strands in the proper locations that I have. It takes time.
It does. It does.
Although there is 2, it takes time.
like Charlie Brown's hair. Just like 2 strings.
He probably has more than me, but
you could very easily dress up as Charlie Brown for Halloween. You literally just put on a yellow shirt with a black zigzag stripe across the middle, and the costume's done. Season 25, the Halloween show. That's what you got to wear.
I got to go Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. I'll dress up as the teacher in the entire show.
We got to get you something to stand on so all we see is your legs.
All right, LA, let's see what you got. Split spread look once again. Richardson throws into triple coverage and gets that one complete. Now, there's a chance that they could try to climb back into this one, Gerald. If you remember last week, LA was actually down 19-0 to Baltimore, and they scored 14 points in the last 2 minutes. So the final score makes it look like a close game. It actually was all Baltimore all night until those last 2 minutes. So it is back-to-back games now that they've scored nothing in the first 3 quarters. Maybe they're a fourth quarter team. We'll see if they can get something going. That pass to Chris Lee, a little bit low. Pass is incomplete. How many likes do we have on this video so far? It's not enough. We've been giving you history lessons and like cereal advice, what to eat and definitely what not to eat. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got your notifications on so you don't miss a minute of SFL, SFLM, and UFL action, and help the channel grow through your support. Sin City, the night is theirs. Pick 6. Touchdown, Samurai.
Terrence Pearson. I don't know if it's, I won't say it's a perfect inning, but it was just it wasn't even a good pass thrown. He threw it to a spot. No one was there, but a Sin City player. And what does he do? Pick it off, and he's able to break a tackle and navigate his way through it and actually get himself a pick 6. And you know what? Guess what it is? Through his 6 seasons, never had a pick 6 before. The pickless one doesn't have one either, but Mr. Pearson has himself one tonight, as now they make it a 29-point lead pending this extra point.
Well, Charles Franz has been kicking field goals all night long. He hasn't missed one of those. Yeah, I didn't think he was about to make his first miss on an extra point. 29-0, 7:46 to go here in this one. Damon Simeon now in the chat talking about what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. I've always thought that was terrible advice. What happens in Vegas oftentimes gets posted to social media. It does not stay in Vegas. Can you imagine you're walking down the strip, you've got your bowl of Wheat Bix in your hand, you know, and people are like, where'd you get those? And you're like, Australia. And they're like, well, how'd you get them into the country? Well, I smuggled them in. Bam, posted to social media. I don't even know what any of that is about.
Well, what everybody might mistake them for Wheaties, so they wouldn't know.
Right.
Wheat Bix found
Listen,
in Vegas.
you know what you do? You take a box of Wheat Bix, you slap a Michael Jordan sticker on the front of it, and they'll be like, oh, that's some vintage Wheaties right there. Like, yeah, that's why it's spelled wrong. It was a printing error back in the day. They didn't have the spell check.
How'd you get
couldn't
them?
press F7.
Well, when they do with all these championship shirts and stuff, they say they send them to third world countries. Is that what they do with misprints of Wheaties?
It's just a misprinted Wheaties box. They sent it to us. You just called Australia a third world country. That is mean and not factual. Jacob, don't leave.
It's not actually.
Jacob just fired up the Winnebago. I think he's about to drive off. You've apologized.
It's not what I said.
All right, let's take a retroactive look at this one.
I don't even know what we're challenging here or why we're even challenging it.
Well, we're gonna take a look.
Yep. I don't understand. Like you've already won one. You've got your win for the day.
They think they got the first, Gerald. I think they're short.
I think they're short as well. I think he's going to lose it.
The ruling on the field is overturned, so LA is not charged the timeout.
What? I don't understand. So he didn't get what he wanted, but he got what he wanted. He wanted the first down, but he just
That's what it's like when you eat dry Wheat Bix with Vegemite. You got what you thought you wanted, but in reality, you really didn't get what you wanted. No. Richardson, pump fakes,
Just
rolls
run.
out, throw the ball. There you go. Jack Flash with the catch. Gets the first down. Clock rolls with 7 minutes to go.
He did like a fake jump pass.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone was really fooled.
I was fooled.
But he actually found Talent Steele just coming across back the other way.
In fairness, I fool
it's
easily.
Jack Flash coming across, as he turned around and says, no, I need to go back.
Richardson over the middle.
Did they get past midfield on that one?
Complete tells you prior. I don't think so.
Now, why are they not right? I think this right here, right? Because we've seen last week, right? They did good in the 2-minute offense of moving down the field and actually getting points. Why would you not have yourself going tempo all game? Because when players make plays, especially when you're struggling, it's when you go tempo, right? And they're just more reactive. That's when athletes become athletes, right? Very little bit of thinking and more reacting in the situations. I think LA now is in a situation where they've been getting caught up in their own head and thinking about something too much. Just read and react.
Playing in Sin City territory for the first time tonight, and Ron and Jacob are blaring the air horns on the Winnebago. I didn't even know it had air horns.
Right.
I wish they would stop. It's distracting.
It's an accomplishment, right? When they're popping confetti.
There is a confetti cannon on it too.
Yeah.
Second down and 10. Richardson back over the middle again and connects this one to Bubba Tree. Here's a name that we have not yet called, who gets his first catch in the ball game.
Well, look, are we running in a situation now, hey, with the time we have left in the score, that Sin City is starting to play a little bit off, a little bit loose, and then LA is starting to get, starting to move down the field a little bit.
Coverage. I mean, I'm not seeing the same sort of pressure that we were in the first three quarters. I think, to your point right now, they're just keeping the ball in front of them and just making those tackles. We see another run by Patrick Rudline. We have not seen Darius Iniguez come back into this one. He went down, I think it was either late first or early second quarter. Strained elbow ligament was the diagnosis. He was questionable to return. We have not seen him come back. He only had 4 carries for 4 yards, Gerald. And I mean, we talked about his stats last week as well. He only had 13 rushing attempts for 30 yards, averaging 2 yards a carry. And to your point, well, that's a nice pass. He is one of their statistically best players on their offense, and just has not been producing the past couple of weeks, and now down with an injury. It's just like what we were talking about in the pregame show. Anything that seems to where it could have gone wrong for LA has all season long,
just,
every game.
I mean, no momentum, right? Look, it took them 3.5 quarters to actually get past midfield to get themselves in a position to score points. And it was almost as if the wheels fell off at the very first time they touched the ball because it resulted in a fumble and Sin City picked it up and their offense, took it in for a score. So
Richardson towards the end zone, and that one is in for 6. Jack
What?
Flash caught it right on the goal line. We'll see if we get another look, but as of right now, touchdown Likens. Yeah, I think he was in, Gerald. Barely, but I think he was in.
Yeah.
At least they got the O off the board. They do have a shutout, on their record earlier on in the season, actually just 2 weeks ago. And not at risk now of being shut out here.
Yeah, but I don't even know. Look, even if you score there, right? Like, I don't even know if it's somewhat of an accomplishment in terms of how you played. Because if you put up, like in your 2-minute offense, you go down and you score and you do things like that, it's still not an indication of how your offense can play.
But look at this, though. 7 of 10 in the last 10 passing attempts, 75 yards and a touchdown. Let's see what your guy John Smith can do. Onside kick goes 2 yards. It's also the rushing average.
Ever heard of putting your toe in the water before you jump in? That was it right there. He was just seeing how the kick coverage team, the hands team was going to react. So now he knows.
It was a test run, you're saying.
It was a test. Like, you see that guy? That's our guy right there. We're going to hit him in the face with it. Watch.
So they're going to drill this one, you're saying?
Yes.
There it is. Drilled him right in the face. He dropped it, and LA picked it up. Oh, Nostradamus, John Smith with the kick.
Yep, he found the most frayed guy there, the guy with the biggest eyeballs out there, and guess what? It worked, and he did it. See, that's what I know, man. We can. I know what's happening. So LA's got a chance to score some more points.
Bill Cherry was out there to try to recover. That's who John Smith picked on. Kicked it right to him. Bill Cherry, it hit him in the hands, and he was so upset he just stood there and just watched it.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
He's like, he got me. Sully Richardson over the middle, and they'll go into the hurry up here. Chris Lee with the catch, picks up 6.
Bill Cherry's like, we're up so large. Why am I even out here? I just need to eat my Wheat Bix.
I think I had a squeeze bottle of Vegemite somewhere in this cooler. Who stole my Vegemite? Meanwhile, Jacob's in the Winnebago just feasting.
Yeah, and I wonder if is that something like you got to refrigerate after opening?
I mean,
I don't know.
That hurts my brain.
I don't know. Like, refrigerate after opening. I need to know that.
Scar up top, complete. And back into Sin City territory. 4:13 to go on the clock. It's rolling. 9 receptions, 128 yards for Chris Lee. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. They'll go back to the top, overthrows his target, 2nd down and 10. Saw a little bit of contact on that one. Thought there might be a flag. I don't think we've seen a flag yet in this game, Gerald.
No, I don't think we have. They've just been and it's been a real physical game from a Sin City defense standpoint and how they've been interacting with this LA offense. I mean, they've been real physical up front and in the secondary.
Pass down to the bottom is incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Week 8 of the SFL Season 24 rolls on Sunday, headlined by another big clash in the South. The 4-2 Bossier City Steamers versus the 3-2 Mexico City Aztecs at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Other matchups include Houston, Atlanta, Denver, Fort Worth, our pick for game of the week, and Minnesota, Oklahoma City, all right here on the Virtual Football Network. 3rd and 10. 4-down territory. That pass. Gerald, we've seen that a few times tonight. That pass went right to Kanye Rockefeller. We've seen a few of them just go right to the Samurai.
Yeah, Kanye Rockefeller had no intention of catching that ball. He had his eyes on a man and just wanted to kill the guy who
potentially just happened to get in the way.
Right, and he just wanted to hit somebody, and the ball just happened to hit him.
It looked like he was surprised. Like he almost swatted, like, oh my gosh, and swatted it away.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's coming to me.
Crowd on their feet here in Vegas. Pass down to the bottom, incomplete. And our first flag of the ball game will give them a free set of downs. Pass interference called on Sin City. And you know what? I think you might have been right, Gerald, because guess who Kanye Rockefeller. He still wanted to go and hit his guy. He hit him that time. Little premature hittings.
I think he's upset that they surrendered 7 points, and he's trying to make some sort of a statement. But look, I do think Sin City has found their stride now on offense, right? Getting back to what they do best on offense and playing that defense that is smothering people. And there's another one.
Oh, I felt like Matt Wilson just then. Did you hear that? Love you, Matt. Zachary Hamburger gets an interception.
I don't know.
It's just been a rough one for LA. Sin City playing absolutely fantastic, though. You talked about it pregame. They won 3 out of their last 4. This is going to be 4 out of their last 5. You take away those first 2 ball games, and they're looking like one of the best teams in the league.
Right, dude. And I think what they did, right, coming into the season, right, I think they wanted to try, hey, with the move, and I understand it, right, with the move, trying to create a little bit of a different identity for themselves. But once they lost those first 2 games, they're like, hey, look, let's get back to what we were successful, right? The bulk of this team is roughly the same. We're relocated. But let's just go back, right, to what got us to 2 straight championships. And they look like they're in mid-season form, and as it is, mid-season right now, like they've ironed out all the things they need to iron out. And they're going right back to it, and they're actually turning into the dominant defense that we saw in the past, and this, run heavy ball control type offense. Even though, Score Patterson has had, a decent day throwing, but the run game is what they are really good at, and they just control the game via the defense. That's the thing, right? I talked about it for seasons, season past. If you want to have a chance against this type of defense and what they're doing, you have to jump on them quick, right? Because their offense can be controlled if you can score early on them and keep the defense from putting your offense in a bad spot. And what they did early on, the first 2 times that they touched the ball, this, Sin City defense forced turnovers, and their offense turned it directly into points. So, I mean, they've are continuing to do now that they've ironed some things out to what they've done the past 2 seasons.
And it's working really well for them. They're just absolutely putting on a clinic of how to play football here. Robert Johnson gets the pickup. He's only carried the ball 8 times. That's all they've needed him to do. You saw Logan Lee's stats, 108 yards on the night now on 18 rushing attempts as we approach the 2-minute warning in this one. And Talon Steele says maybe spiking the defense's Wheaties with gunpowder was a little much. He's poisoning them. You can't eat that. Yeah, I'd rather eat gunpowder than Vegemite. 2-minute warning here in this one. Sin City out in front. Watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He is Gerald Smith. Ron Haynes. Jacob Clear in the stats truck.
They have got to have, if I'm looking at the math is mathing, Sin City has over 200 yards on the ground spread amongst, their 2 running backs and their fullback. Look at Cherry right here. He himself almost getting, 100 yards himself. Logan Lee is over 100 yards. It's just a clinic on running the ball. Wow, and he picked up another 8 to 10.
Timeout called by LA.
This man, like, if they keep giving him the ball, you think he's going to get 100 yards on the game?
Who's that?
Bill Cherry.
He might. He's getting there.
He's probably got somewhere between 93 and 95 yards.
Yeah, he's closer to 80, but he might break one. Who knows? What the pundits really want to know is Terrell Smith. How many yards does he have? You remember Terrell?
I do remember Terrell, and
we haven't seen him lately.
No, he's not, because we didn't need him. He's like, no, you guys got it.
There's Logan Lee's updated numbers. 20 carries for 122 yards. Listen, a lopsided start to Week 8, but there's more Week 8 action coming up In less than an hour, we kick off 2 more games here on the Virtual Football Network. Starting off with Florida at Lexington. You've got the 4-2 Florida Storm at the 3-3 Lexington Miners. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg on the call, a dynamic crew right there. So definitely a game you'll want to tune into. And of course, at 10:30, we've got the 3-3 Queen City Corsairs, go Buffalo, at the 0-6 Nashville Tempo. The O has got to go for the Tempo. Cameron Duty and Rochelle Colston on the call for that one. Gerald, I know you don't think that Nashville has got what it takes in the tank to beat the visiting Corsairs tonight.
No, I don't. Like, look, their defense has played solid. I know, look, that they've actually got a new coordinator and stuff, on the offense and stuff. That's the rumor. But I don't know if they're going to turn it all around. Look, can they? Yeah, right. But I just don't think it. I just don't think it's going to happen, right? I think Queen City's a little bit more put together than they are. And, as we've seen, a very serviceable defense like LA has. Right? They can't be the sole reason you win a game. You need an offense to actually come to the table. And I just don't know if Nashville has it in them to be able to do that. I mean, they haven't shown it so far. So I don't really expect them to change.
You're not wrong. We'll see what happens with those games. 10:15 tonight, 10:30 tonight. Make sure you stay tuned for that as we see the clock approach 0. We'll get our final thoughts on this one in just a moment. Los Angeles will fall to 2-6 on the season, and Sin City will improve to 4-3. They now have a winning record. Next up for LA, they head into the bye week. Then in week 10, they're back home against the 5-1 Vancouver Legion, a divisional game for Sin City. In week 9, they are on the road in Houston on Friday the 28th at 10:30. Gerald, your final thoughts here.
It was just a complete domination by the Sin City defense, right? And LA's defense did what they could, but the offense just struggled tremendously. And, I mean, Sin City done what they've done the last few weeks, right? Just kind of smother opponent out, play good defense, and on offense, they were just opportunistic. So, LA's got a ton of things to work on offensively. And Sin City, it seems like they found what they needed to keep the winning formula.
This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Sin City wins it 29-7. For Gerald Smith, Jacob Clear, Ron Haynes, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who is always with me in spirit, I'm Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another. Eat your Wheat Bix, but never eat Vegemite.